Hi guys, this is Sadek from Droidwin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to unbrick your OnePlus phone using the MSM download tool. So as you might be aware, every OnePlus device that comes with a Qualcomm chipset has an EDL mode, or in other words, an emergency download mode. You could use this EDL mode to flash the OSP firmware via the MSM tool and hence unbrick your phone. Apart from that, if your phone is also currently working well and good, then you could also use the MSM tool to downgrade the OS version as well. For example, from Oxygen OS 13 to Oxygen OS 12 as well. But let's keep that discussion for some other day. In this video, we'll show you simply how to unbreak your phone via this tool and bring your phone back to life. One of the major benefit of this tool is that it does not require an unlock bootloader. You could use this tool on a locked bootloader as well. So anyways, keeping that in mind, this process will wipe off all the data. Since your device already brick, I don't think there is a method to back up any data. But just for the sake of warning, I have told you beforehand that it will wipe off all the data, and apart from that there is no other requirement. So let's get started. First and foremost, you'll have to boot your phone to EDL mode. For that, you have to use a couple of methods. When your phone is working well and good, you could use the ADB reboot EDL method, or you could boot to EDL via Magisk as well. But as of now, since our phone is currently bricked, so the only course of action is to do this. First and foremost, connect one end of the USB cable to your PC, but keep the other end of the cable blank. Now press and hold the volume up and volume down keys, and while pressing and holding both these keys, connect the other end of the USB cable to your phone, and you should then hear a warning sound on your PC. As soon as you hear the warning sound, release both the keys. So just to repeat, first and foremost, connect one end of the USB cable to your PC, but leave the other end of the cable blank. Then press and hold the volume up and volume down keys, and while holding both these keys, connect the other end of the cable to your phone. And once you hear a warning sign on your PC, then let go of both these keys. And with that, your device will be booted to EDL mode. I've also made a guide on the same. Let me show you that. Just a minute. It will be easier for you to read. I have written that guide somewhere. So if you, I have written overall 3 guides, and I will link all these guides in the description. You can go and have a look at that. So let me show you. So boot OnePlus to EDL mode. So as I have told you before, the process is simple. Just power off your phone, then press and hold the volume up and volume down keys, and while both the keys are pressed, connect your device to PC by USB cable. Once you have done so, your device might be booted to EDL mode. I am saying might because we have to first verify the same. For that, right click on the Windows icon, start icon, and select device manager. Once you open the device manager, so let me close this and reopen it. So right click on the Windows icon and select device manager. Now once you open it, expand the port section, and under the port section your phone would be either listed as Qualcomm HS USB QT loader, or it will be shown as QHS USB bulk. If it's showing as QHS USB bulk, or in other words something along the following lines, let me show you. If this is showing as QHS USB bulk, then it means that the Qualcomm drivers are not installed on your PC, and you will have to install that as well. On the other hand, if it's showing as Qualcomm HS USB QT loader, then it means that the Qualcomm drivers are installed successfully and you could good to go ahead. But first off, let me show you the method how to install USB drivers for the users who are getting QHS USB bulk. So if you're getting this, then you will first have to download the Qualcomm drivers. The link for that is given in the description. So first off, download the automatic driver installation and download for the 64-bit. Once you have downloaded it, you just have to launch the setup. So let me show you. This will be the setup. So double click to launch it and click on yes in the prompt, and then again click on next and select WWA and DHCP. Click on next and proceed ahead with the installation steps. You could check out the installation. I've already done so in my case. So these are the screenshots of the installation steps. So first of all, you have to select WWA and DHCP, then click on next and hit install, and drivers will be installed. However, if the drivers are still not installed, then you could also manually install these drivers. For that, grab hold of the manual package from the above section from here and extract it onto your PC. In my case, I've done the extraction in the desktop, as you could see. So this is the Qualcomm drivers, manual drivers, and this is the file inside the drivers. So now open device manager and right click on your phone. As of now, it should be showing as QHS USB bulk. So right click on it, select update driver, then click on browse my computer, and then click on the browse button. Now select the entire Qualcomm driver folder and click OK. It will automatically install the drivers, and then you have to restart your PC. Once you have installed the Qualcomm drivers, your phone will now be listed as Qualcomm HS USB QT loader. But apart from that, you might also see a yellow warning sign. As you could see in my case, there is a yellow warning sign. So you will have to remove that warning sign as well. This is happening because Windows has enabled driver enforcement verification and is not letting us install this driver properly. So for that, we'll first have to disable the driver signature enforcement from Windows, and then this sign will be removed. To do so, I've already made a video as well as a guide. In short, here what you have to do. First and foremost, you will have to bring up the start menu, and from there press and hold the shift key, and while holding the shift key, click on restart. Your PC will now restart to the Windows recovery environment. From there, select the troubleshoot option, and from the troubleshoot, select advanced option. From advanced, you will from the advanced screen select the startup settings. Let me show you. Select startup settings and then click on the restart button. Your PC will now restart to the startup settings page. So let me show you. You will now be taken to the startup settings page, and once you reach there, check out the number 7. In number 7 is written disable driver signature enforcement. So either press the 7 key or press the F7 key. And once you do so, your PC will restart and the driver signature enforcement will be removed from your PC. It will be just for this one time frame. So let me go ahead and do that as well. And once we have done this, the yellow warning will be removed. So I am going to remove this warning and then I'll be back. So guys, please wait for the time frame. So guys, our PC has just restarted, and let's now verify the result. So right click on the start icon and then go to the device manager. Once it opens, expand the port section. So let's verify the same, and under the port section you could see there is no yellow warning sign next to Qualcomm HS USB loader. So this signifies that a connection was established successfully and your PC could now identify the device in EDL mode. So we are now good to go ahead and flash the OSP firmware via MSM tool. So let's now carry out this task. So for that, your first course of action is to download the MSM tool. You could go to my guide. I've given the link in the description. So go to this guide and download the MSM tool corresponding to your device. In my case, it's the OnePlus 70. So you could download the version of your choice, whether it's Android 10, Android 11, that does not matter. In my case, I'm using the Android 11 version. From here, I've already downloaded it on my PC. So let me show you. So once you have downloaded as well, simply extract it anywhere on your PC. You could extract it anywhere. The location does not matter. This is the MSM download tool in my case. For the OnePlus 70, this is the Global Oxygen OS firmware. So once you have downloaded this, simply double click to launch this using the MSM download tool version 4.0 exe file. Click on yes in the prompt that appears and it will now load the file. Along with the application, you will also get the OPS firmware, which is the Unbreak firmware. So the tool will automatically flash the OPS firmware as well, and it is now loading the tool, and along with the tool it will also load the OPS firmware as well. So let me show you. In the login prompt that appears, simply click on next and proceed ahead. It will now launch the tool, and you could see our phone is now being shown as connected. So if it's now, you could also click on enum to refresh the connection, and you could see it's showing as connected. Now all you have to do is simply hit the start button and the flashing should now start. So let's check out. So yes, that is the major issue with this tool. You might get a Sahara communication failed error as well. This is quite a common issue and happens with quite a lot of users. So if you're getting this issue as well, then there are a few tweaks that you could try. Regarding this, your first course of action should be to unplug your phone from your PC. So let me do so right now. So my phone has now been removed from my PC and the tool will not show any device. Let me stop it, and as you could see, if I click on enum, my device is no longer there on my PC. You can verify from here as well. Then again, press and hold the volume up and volume down keys, and by pressing and holding both these keys, you will have to connect your phone to the PC via the USB cable. So let me do so now. I'll be plugging in the phone, and once you hear a sound, simply let go of the keys and you could see your phone is now in the EDL mode. Likewise, it should now be shown here as well. So it's now showing as connected, and let's now try flashing it. So click on start. So guys, as you could see, it's now starting the flashing, and the flashing has now started. So the error message of Sahara communication failed is quite common in many cases, and I have seen many users getting this issue. I have also made a guide on this error as well. So there are a few tips and tricks that you have to keep in mind. If you're getting this error, let me show you the few tweaks. These are just the basic tweaks to keep in mind. In this regard, your first course of action is to unplug your device and then press and hold the volume up and volume down keys, and while holding both these keys, again connect your phone to the PC by USB cable, and this time the process should start. Apart from that, you should use the official USB cable that came with your phone, and likewise use the USB 2.0 port on your PC and not the 3.0 port. Apart from that, you could also do one more thing. You should first launch the MSM tool, and upon launching the MSM tool, hit the start button if possible. And once you click the start button, after that you have to connect your phone to the PC. So MSM tool will now read your device and it will now start flashing the process. So you could also first start the MSM tool and then connect your phone to the PC in the EDL mode, and then it will flash the firmware. Apart from that, there could be a few other tweaks. Let me show you if I mention here. So yes, you should also try and start the MSM tool as an administrator. Change the USB port and use the USB 1.0 port. Use the official USB cable. And I have seen a few issues with the AMD Ryzen chipset. So please try using a Intel-based PC. Apart from that, one of the most common fixes I have seen is that when users use a Windows 10 PC or simply a Windows 11 PC of someone else. So in some cases, the reasons are quite unknown. But just by using someone else's PC, I've also seen the process works. So if you are using someone else's PC, you first have to carry out the task that I've shown you before, which involves installing the Qualcomm drivers. And apart from that, yes, that's the only requirement that you need to have. So if you try using someone else's PC, install the USB drivers, Qualcomm USB drivers, and then try the process. And I have told you before, use the USB 2.0 port only, and use the official USB cable that came with your phone. Then apart from that, you could also try another Oxygen OS. So in this, for example, as I have shown you here, the tools which I have shown, so you could see that there are 3 to 4 versions, Android 10, Android 11 as well. So if the Android 11 version is not working, you could use the Android 10 version as well, and you could also use of some other region. But the problem of using of with some other region is that your modem might not work. So I have seen this issue with some cases. If they flash some other region, in some cases some other regions firmware might not be flashed, and MSM will straight away say that it cannot flash the OPS firmware of any other region. But if you are lucky enough and you could flash the firmware of any other region, then the modem might not work, and you have to then unlock the bootloader and flash the modem file of your firmware. You could extract the payload.bin file from the firmware and flash it via passboot flash modem, modem.img or modem.bin, and that will make the modem work again. So try using Android 10, Android 11 version. Both these versions are try and check if the issue gets fixed. Apart from that, make sure you have the Qualcomm drivers installed and your phone is booted to the EDL mode as well. And in case if you are getting the crash dump mode, then there's also a fix for that. So you could try out that fix as well. And so try out all these tweaks and make sure if you are the final thing to do is simply right click on your Qualcomm drivers, select it and hit on uninstall device. This will remove the Qualcomm drivers, and then you should restart your PC and retry the steps of driver installation. So carry out all these tweaks and hopefully it should then fix the issue of, as you could, Sahara communication failed issue. So these are all the USB tweaks and the various tweaks that you could carry out. And apart from the Sahara communication failed, there are quite a few other issues as well. As you might have seen over here, I've written in the end of my guide. So you should get the stuck in param preload error message or SMT config not found error message. So in all these cases, the fix that I've shown here should work well and good. So execute all these fixes and one of them should fix the issue. In my case, I had to unplug my device, break the ADL connection, and then I had to press and hold the power up and volume up and volume down keys, and then replug my phone to the PC. And with that, the flashing started. Just make sure that the USB cable should be plugged on your PC throughout. You should not touch the USB cable that should be plugged on your PC. The other end of the USB cable have to be removed from your phone and then replugged in. And while doing so, make sure to press the volume up and volume down keys. Apart from that, you could also first launch the MSM tool, hit the start button, and then connect your phone to PC in the EDL mode. And in that case, also the MSM tool will automatically start the flashing process. Regarding the flashing, the super.img takes the maximum amount of time. It's not a cause of concern. You'll have to give it that time. In my case, the entire process takes around 400 seconds, out of which 250 to 300 seconds are taken by super image, super.img file. So let's wait while that is happening. And after that, your phone will boot to the OS, depending on the OS that you have flashed. In my case, I flashed the Android 11 OS. So it will boot to that, and likewise the bootloader will be locked in your case. If it was unlocked beforehand, then after flashing the firmware via the OnePlus this MSM tool, it will relock the bootloader on your phone, and you will have to again unlock it. For that, I've also made a video, and apart from the video, you could just simply execute the passboot flashing unlock command and it will unlock the bootloader. However, carrying out that task will remove all the data from your phone and might also nullify the warranty. But in my case, I already keep the bootloader unlocked because it's a safer bet. In case something goes wrong, we could easily use this tool to fix this issue. Apart from that, there also exists one more tool whose name is Fastboot Enhance tool. I've also made a guide on that. You could that for that tool to work, your device should at least have access to fastboot mode. And if you have access to fastboot mode, in other words, if your device is soft break or is in a boot loop, then you could also use the fastboot enhance tool and get this job going. So let me show you the process is going on. I have also linked the fastboot enhance tool guide on my description. You could go and have a check there. And that tool is mostly used to unbreak your phone in case you're at least able to access the fastboot mode. And that tool uses the firmware payload.bin file to flash it, and after that it fixes the issue. Whereas in case of MSM tool, we have to use this tool if the device is not able to access any mode whatsoever. Anyways, with that said, you could see we have now got the download complete message, and our device will now automatically boot to the OS. Do keep in mind that the first boot will take up a few additional minutes. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. So let's wait while that is happening, and then I will show you the OS part as well. It should only take a few seconds. So while that is booting up, let me show you the tool that I was talking about. So let me launch. So this is the tool. Yes, so this is a guide in which I have shown how you could go back to stop from a custom ROM. And in that tool, the third method is using the Fastboot Enhance tool. So this is the tool that I'm talking about, and I made a video on that as well. You could download this tool and then flash the payload.bin file and unbreak your phone as well. But in this case, your phone should at least have access to the fastboot mode, which was not the case with us. So that is why we had to use the MSM tool. Talking about the MSM tool, you could also use this tool to downgrade your phone to an older version. For example, from Android 13 to Android 12 or Android 12 to Android 11 as well. I've also made a guide on this on how you could downgrade it to an older version. In that case, since you will be able to access the OS, you could use the ADB reboot EDL command to boot your phone to the EDL mode, and then the rest of the process is exactly the same as shown here. However, the one major concern with MSM tool is the fact that it is only available till OnePlus 9. Beginning from OnePlus 10, it has now been taken over by Oppo, and you now require an authenticated user ID to carry out this process. While you could easily bypass the login on OnePlus 10 MSM tool as well, but you will not be able to flash because the servers are encrypted and we don't have any access to their data packets. So the MSM tool could only be used till OnePlus 9, and that is one major reason why there is very less development for OnePlus 10. Because if something goes wrong, then there is no tool to escape from that issue. So as in my guide as well, the MSM tool are only to OnePlus 9 phones. It's not there to OnePlus 10. While I have made a guide on how you could bypass the login, but the bypassing the login will not do any good because you will still not be able to flash the firmware. So the tool is only applicable to OnePlus 9 as well as the OnePlus Nord series. So you could use this tool, and all this guide I have linked in the description. You could check out this guide and carry out the task. Anyways, as you could see, my phone is now booted. So currently it's on Android 11 and the bootloader will be logged. Let me just skip the process and I'll directly show you the OS skin. Let me set up offline. So let's now carry out this task and hit the accept button as well. Agree and then skip the screen lock. So let's, for the ease of convenience, let's select the 3-finger gesture. And guys, with this, our phone is now booted to the OS and it's now set up from scratch. And as I have told you before, the bootloader will be logged. You could now go ahead and unlock the bootloader if you want. That's completely optional. But in my case, I want to unlock the bootloader. So let me show you how that will be done. Again, I'm telling you it's completely optional and you do not need to unlock the bootloader if you don't want. Moreover, the process will wipe off all the data from your phone and could nullify the warranty as well. So only proceed ahead at your own risk and if you want to do so. In my case, I want to unlock the bootloader. So let's now do that as well and give it the finishing touch. So go to about phone and tap on build number 7 times. This will enable developer option. Now go back, go to system, then enable the toggle. Then you should see developer options. So just a minute, here's the developer option. Go there, enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging and tap on OK. Now you have to download the Android SDK platform tools folder on your PC. The link for that is given in the description. So download it on your PC and extract it anywhere you want. In my case, I've done the extraction in eDrive, as you could see. then go to its address bar, type in cmd and hit enter. This will launch the cmd window with the platform tools folder directory, as you could see. Now let's type in adb reboot bootloader and our phone will boot to the fastboot mode. The process will only take a few seconds, so let's wait while that is happening. And so it's in the fastboot mode. As you could see, the device state is showing as locked. This means that the bootloader is currently logged. So to unlock it, you first and foremost have to verify the fastboot connection. So type in fastboot devices and hit enter. So if you are not getting any serial ID, then you have to first install the fastboot drivers. The link on how could be done is given in the description. Go ahead and install the fastboot drivers. Once that is done, simply type in fastboot flashing unlock and hit enter. Just to reiterate, it will wipe off all the data from your phone and might nullify the warranty. So proceed ahead at your own risk. Anyways, type in this command and hit enter. You will now get the prompt on your phone. So use the volume down key to select the option of unlock the bootloader and hit the power key to confirm. It will now reset your phone, remove all the data and unlock the bootloader. And from now on, you will also get this warning message. You could easily remove this warning message by flashing a custom boot image file. By boot image file, I mean a custom boot logo file. And as of now, it's wiping the data and it will then remove the encryption, or rather remove the decryption and re-encrypt our phone, and then it will unlock the bootloader. So as you could see, I'm talking about this warning message. If you want, I will make a video on that as well, on how you could remove this warning message. And then you by flashing a custom made boot animation or a boot logo of the same screen size that is of our OnePlus phone. Anyways, moreover, the first boot up after unlocking the bootloader will take up some additional seconds. That is completely normal because it's booting up the first time after unlocking the bootloader and our phone has also gone a reset. So this boot up could take up to around 30 seconds. That's completely normal and nothing to worry about. So let me now show you the status. It's booting up to the OS and we could then set up from scratch. Unlocking the bootloader is completely optional and it depends on individual choice. In my case, I like to keep it unlocked because in case something goes wrong, I could easily flash the firmware and rectify the issue. Though we have the MSM tool as well, but usually I use the fastboot enhanced tool because that's easy. Until and unless our phone is not hard bricked, in that case you have to use the MSM tool. But if it's just soft break, you could easily use the MSM tool or the fastboot enhanced tool as well. Anyways, as you could see, the first boot up is taking quite a lot of time. It's completely normal because it's the first time after booting up after the unlock, and let's wait while that is happening. Apart from that, you could also change this boot animation. I recently made a guide on that as well, and you could check out my video. I will make a video as well, so let me show you a guide on how to change that boot animation as well. So just a minute. These boot animation are just specific for the OnePlus phones itself, and I have tried it. So the guide might be somewhere here. I have to. So yeah, this is the guide, and you could flash it across both the Android 12 and Android 13, which is OxygenOS 12, OxygenOS 13. This boot animation is of the Cyberpunk boot animation. Apart from that, there are a few other boot animation as well. One is of the Pac-Man boot animation, then one is of the McLaren boot animation. You could try out this boot animation as well, but to do so, your device needs to be rooted. So make sure you root your phone by flashing and patching the matches boot image file. Anyways, our phone is now booted to the OS, and we could now have to set up from scratch again. Again, I will skipping these steps and I will just show you the process. To boot to the OS, set up offline, continue, and our device should now boot to the OS system. Just a minute. So let's agree and skip the lock screen for as of now, and let me choose the 3. Okay, let's start it. This is the back gesture. That's why I always use the 3 button to skip this section, but by default this time I've chosen this, not an issue. So we are done and we could now access the OS. Let me now show you. So our phone is now unlocked with the bootloader also unlocked. So let me show the result of this as well. If I again enable developer option, so let me go to about phone, tap on build number 7 times, and it should now enable developer option. So go there, and as you could see, bootloader is already unlocked. So guys, on that note, we round off this video. If you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section, and please like this channel, like this video, and subscribe to this channel for more tips and tricks. Thanks a lot for watching.